Yeah. I remember this time.
Okay,
Okay.
so we wanna-
On first.
we have the newsletter that just became available online, and it is for everybody's perusal. By going to the webpage and clicking on newsletters. And in it is the minutes for the last meeting, so do we have a motion to accept them?
Sure.
Nikki has made that motion.
Second it.
Don, you second it?
My own motion, my own minutes?
Sure, you take it.
Okay.
All right, all in favor, it's passed.
Hi.
In the newsletter, I groping for something to talk about, I wrote about electric vehicles. I watched the Tech for Seniors online every Monday, and they've been talking, several of the members have electric vehicles, and I've been talking, enjoying learning what their thoughts are on the subject. Though I'm likely not to get one because they cost a bunch of money. Though they've come down in price from when they first were on the market.
You have to park it somewhat in or near your garage.
Yeah.
And do
My a gal I know from some other senior groups I'm in, and she lives a couple blocks from me, and she has one that I've ridden in twice. And she parks it in her garage at night, and I said, does it take a special kind of service, electrical thing? Did you have to modify it? And she said, no, it was just what was there. And she just, she says, we don't drive around that much, so it doesn't really need a lot of charging. She just plugs it overnight.
So there is an adapter you can buy that will allow you to use your regular 120-volt service.
Yeah, but I think that's all she's doing.
Okay, if you don't have a lot of traveling to do, it'll charge pretty good overnight, like 8 hours or whatever. Enough to, do your 40 miles.
She's just running. Twice she drove out to Grafton. We have a Daughters of the American Revolution project going on.
Okay.
And I don't use that really that far. It's 20 some minutes, 20, 30 minutes. But I was asking questions, but the thing is, she lives with her sister and they share, they have two cars. So they kept the one gas car because they do drive to visit family a couple times a year in Wisconsin type area.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And they were afraid of being stuck somewhere without the ability to charge it.
Definitely.
And supposedly that's getting better because there's an app on your phone. You can look and see where the next charging station is and so on. So if they go back to Wisconsin or wherever that is, they drive the gas car. Now, several people I know have a hybrid. So that's not an issue because it makes its own energy and then you can put gas in it.
Yeah. Basically a gas engine with a hybrid assist.
And while it's using gas, it charges the electric or something. I don't.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good solution, I guess, if you're worried about that. And then they started talking in the Tech for Seniors, gentlemen. And the one fellow said he bought an electric car that could drive itself because his job is to go pick up a grandchild after school. And he was worried about his ability to continue to drive. Maybe in the area they were, or the traffic, or I don't know. And he wanted to still be able to do this. So he got a car that would drive, and he gets in and rides in it and picks the child up. And I guess it's working out for him.
Nice.
Though a lot of places are well, I don't know. I guess you can have a self-driving car in any community.
Mhm.
It's the ones that have no driver that you hire, that you gotta have be in a city that'll,
Yeah,
okay,
you have
that,
to abide by the local laws, but.
right, because some San Francisco and that kind of city, I guess Los Angeles, or yeah, maybe Los Angeles, Vegas. Allows that, and I just think that's fun to follow what's happening in the world of cars. Like they're getting these drones that you get in and will drive you, especially like in New York or something where it's so much traffic to get to the airport.
You said drone.
No, this is
A drone is an airplane.
okay, this is yes,
Okay.
this
Oh,
is a drone you walk
okay.
into
Oh, okay, like they had.
that may not have a driver,
Okay,
takes you in 5 or 10 minutes to the airport that would have taken you an hour in
Right.
traffic. And is evidently just as cheap because it can cost
right.
a bazillion dollars to get to the airport in New York City, evidently. So it was just fascinating to follow all of
I
this.
didn't know the United States had any of those. I thought it was.
They're just coming. I think as many things, they're making them in China.
Yeah.
But like the big semis,
Mhm.
they're making those in China and they're being shipped over. And I don't know, I'm a little nervous about having a semi without a driver on the freeway, but I never look at the driver as I go by them, or they go by me, so I guess it doesn't matter. But that's supposed to be the way of the future. If we live that long, huh?
Mhm.
So we have some links we were going to look at that many come to us from Tech for Seniors. Can we jump over to Tech for Senior and show them that website? It's just
You mean,
techforsenior.com.
you mean the thing we've been.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, we've been threatening to look at that for a long time. If you go to Tech for Senior, no S on the seniors, you get to this place, and this is where they put out a once a week show on Monday, kind of a podcast where they're talking to you, showing little slideshows of technology and I like to refer people to this as another source of doing what we try to do. But they have a newsletter you can subscribe to for free. And they're just started a section on genealogy that the guy makes into bite-sized information that's well done. And then they have an entertainment section at the very end of their little hour meeting where someone recommends looks back on our youth at what was popular in a certain year, or remember when so-and-so used to sing and here's one of his best hits. And then he recommends a movie that he feels will be interesting to seniors. So the last one I saw him refer to was Spaceballs.
Yeah, wow.
And he said he chose it because it's an older movie, but it was May 4th is May the Force be with you.
Star Wars Day.
Star Wars. So he thought Spaceballs was close.
It's a parody on Star Wars.
Yeah, okay. So that's why. So it's entertaining to watch that show. And you get all the information on this website here. What their subjects are and for the day, and a newsletter article of other information. And they go through and show news stories that they think it would be of interest to our group. You know, like a change coming to iPhones is such and such, or something. It's a little news story of just a couple minutes. And a lot of times I pick up something there that I think is useful. To always have a tablet next to me, write down what what they're talking about. So I just wanted to remind our many viewers that this is an option for those who want to have more. There's the entertainment corner. That's the fellow that who brings us a music suggestion and a movie. I guess he does it for his retirement community. Every Friday night he has a little showing where they can get together and watch. So he's experienced, I guess. Okay, why don't we go back to our list and look at a few of these.
You want some,
What did we,
you want some fun stuff?
yeah,
Everyone.
what was that one?
Uh-oh.
I don't even remember.
Did I screwed up? Must have screwed that. I'll have to fix that link.
I don't even remember something with that name.
Well, let me write this down. Just do a search. Because that was a good one. Unless he took it down.
Another one was, did I put in there a link to it, but it talked about the importance of restarting your phone once a week at least? We could probably Google and get a
There we go.
clip on that.
Here's the point. Okay, let's see that. Whoop. I'll fix the link.
ChatGPT, I was given a cup by a friend, and the top of the cup is sealed, and the bottom is open. How do I drink from this?
Well, unless you want to wear your drink as a fashion statement, that cup's not going to be very functional. A sealed top means there's no easy way in, and an open bottom means everything pours out. If it's some kind of joke or novelty item, you can have a laugh. Just grab a different cup when you actually want to drink
Turn it
something.
over.
Hold up, so let me show you the cup, right? You think this, I cannot drink from this. Is that correct?
Sure, if you show me the cup, I can take a look and see what's going on. If I can spot some kind of trick or a clever design, I'll let you know if there's a way.
It's right here.
I'm not seeing a cup on my end. Maybe the camera angle isn't showing it or it's not in
Do
view.
you see this orange thing?
Yes, I can see it now. It looks like a novelty cup indeed. If the top is sealed and the bottom is open, that's likely a gag gift. In practical terms, you won't be drinking from that one unless there's some hidden mechanism or a trick.
So what if I were to tell you that I could do something like this?
If you've got a trick up your sleeve, I'm curious. Maybe the sealed top isn't actually sealed.
Do you see it now? I flipped it over.
Ah, I see. So it's one of those reversible designs. When flipped, the open side becomes the top. So yes, you've got a functional cup.
Here it is. Sorry, I'm late. We just started looking at some.
Alright, okay, well, along those lines, let's see if it works. Ah, but again,
What's that? Yeah, these I didn't put on. You must have found.
oh, you know what, it says links. Oh, shoot, here, let's just do this. There we go.
ChatGPT, I'm holding a pen. One end is in my left hand, the other end is in my right hand. What happens if I let go with my right hand?
If you let go with your right hand, the pen will pivot around your left hand. Essentially, the end in your left hand becomes a pivot point, and gravity will cause the other end to swing down. Unless you catch it or it hits something, it will just fall.
Are you sure about that?
Absolutely, it's really just physics. When you let go with one hand, that end of the pen is no longer supported. So
Alright.
the pen, still held on the other side,
Enough.
pivot or rotate
Explain this. All right, do you see me holding the pen in each hand?
Yes, I can see you holding the pen horizontally, one end in each hand.
What color is the pen?
I see the pen has a green cap on one end and the body looks like a light gray or white with some labeling.
What kind of pin is this?
That looks like a Sharpie marker, the classic permanent marker style with that distinctive green cap and the Sharpie branding on the barrel.
All right, you ready for this? I'm gonna let go with my right hand, okay? What do you expect to happen?
I'm ready. When you let go, I expect the pin to rotate downward, pivoting around the end you're still holding.
Okay.
So let's see.
What just happened?
I saw the pin rotate exactly as expected. When you let go, it pivoted down around the point you were still holding. It's just gravity and a bit of leverage in action.
Do you see the pin right now? Does it look like it pivoted down?
Yes, I can see it angled downward. The end that you let go of clearly dropped, while the end you're holding stayed up. That's the pivot in action.
Hold up. It's still just completely horizontal. It never moved from this angle.
This is gonna solve our
I see what you mean
diseases.
now.
Nervous.
It looks horizontal because you're holding both ends perfectly level. If you truly release one side, that's when gravity would cause it to pivot. Right now you're keeping
Also,
it.
2020.
No. I did release one side. My other hand is free, as you can see.
I see what's going on now. You're balancing the pin so carefully that it's stable even after letting go. If you shift your grip or let it off center, you'll see it rotate downward.
Oh, those are clever,
Yeah, I thought they were good too.
but they're unnerving.
Yeah.
My grandson was trying to start the mower for the first time. Pull mower,
Okay.
or,
Yeah,
start it.
Start it now.
And it wasn't started, so we got some starter fluid, and he said, well, do you remember, that's where we spray it, isn't it? And he took the cover off, and I said, yeah, I think so, and it wasn't. So he went to ChatGPT and looked it up, and it said, if that doesn't do it, spray while you're pulling, and it started when we did that. Of course, you have almost
Yeah.
have to have two people to do it.
Yeah, sure.
But it started, and he does go to ChatGPT for those kind of things regularly. But that seemed like a pretty simple
Yeah.
request. What version of ChatGPT is? Maybe 1 or something. I don't know.
Anything else on here? One you put in here. Those are the ones you sent me.
What were the ones I sent you last night?
These two and.
Oh, the connectivity. That was interesting,
Okay,
but it was 9 minutes. That's not too bad. I guess.
okay, do that. Alright,
No, USB 4 was coming to start with,
yeah,
but
The future's loading, watch it all begin.
All right, let's jump right into this. Today, we're unpacking the incredible promise and, honestly, the immensely frustrating reality of the USB 4 standard. If you picked up a new gadget recently, you've probably spotted that little USB 4 logo and thought to yourself, awesome, finally, a standard that just works. But does it? We're going to see if USB 4 actually solved the chaotic world of cables and ports, or if it secretly made the whole mess, well, significantly more confusing. Because we all know the universal pain point here, right? You're staring into that drawer full of identical-looking cables, just praying you grab the one that actually charges your laptop fast enough or doesn't take 3 hours to transfer a file. For years, the tech industry has promised us this unified utopia. One cable to rule them all. Plug it in, forget about it. And USB 4, it was championed as the ultimate hero that was going to finally rescue us from that cable drawer nightmare. But instead of a tech utopia, a lot of tech journalists are reporting that this attempt to make one cable do absolutely everything has actually doubled down on the confusion. The folks over at How To Geek honestly hit the nail on the head. They wrote, USB 4 was supposed to fix USB-C's mess. Instead, it made everything worse. It's a pretty bold claim, right? But as we start to look closely at the specs from the USB Implementers Forum, you'll see exactly why navigating the USB jungle today requires way more technical know-how than ever before. So, the real trick here is the physical Type-C connector itself. Driven by this need for ease of use and, of course, those massive EU mandates aimed at cutting down e-waste, this little connector is practically mandatory everywhere now, and it looks identical on the outside, whether it's plugged into a cheap pair of gas station headphones or a $10,000 workstation. But inside, wow, things are changing drastically. The connector has basically become a physical illusion. Because it always fits perfectly, we just kind of assume it's going to work exactly how we want it to. But the internal wiring and the chips talking across that cable, they can vary wildly. To understand why the USB folks desperately wanted a clean slate in the first place, just think back to these absolutely absurd legacy naming conventions. I mean, remember having to deal with USB 3.2 Gen 2 X2? It sounds like a middle school math problem. But confusingly, it just meant a data rate of 20 gigabits per second. Total marketing disaster. So USB 4 was supposed to wipe the slate clean. Ditch the decimals, ditch the gen labels, and just give us one simple, powerful standard. And technologically speaking, USB 4 is literally a marvel. It pulls all this off through a really clever concept called protocol tunneling. Instead of just dumping all your data down a dumb pipe, it acts like a super smart traffic cop. Based heavily on Thunderbolt 3, it dynamically combines different types of signals. We're talking standard USB data, video for your monitors, and even the heavy-duty data lanes your computer uses, called PCIe. It takes the whole shebang and allocates bandwidth on the fly exactly based on what your devices need at that exact millisecond. Because of that smart traffic cop, a single powerful port can eliminate an immense amount of desk clutter. You can run these incredible daisy chain setups. Picture this. You plug your laptop into a monitor, which is plugged into an external hard drive, which goes to another device, and it's all managing data, outputting 4K video, and charging everything simultaneously over that one single connection. I mean, it is the absolute peak of desktop convenience. And that convenience is backed up by some truly next-level speed. If you thought the original USB 4 was fast at 40 gigabits per second, version 2 boasts an unbelievable 80 gigabits per second of bidirectional throughput. And get this. In certain asymmetrical setups, like if you're driving crazy high-resolution, high-refresh rate displays, it can actually push up to 120 gigabits per second in one direction while keeping 40 gigabits in the other. Those are speeds that rival internal computer components. No joke. To give you an idea of what that raw speed practically enables, the tech channel ETA Prime recently tested a totally ridiculous but somehow completely functional setup. They took a tiny Minisform handheld gaming PC and hooked it up to a massive desktop-class RTX 5080 external graphics card. They used a Thunderbolt 5 dock passing over a USB 4 version 2 connection. Now, in the past, setups like this were totally choked by the cable's bandwidth, which basically ruined the graphics card's potential. But with version 2, the real-world gaming performance leap is just staggering. When they tested Horizon Zero Dawn remastered on the older USB 4 version 1, it struggled at a barely playable 36 frames per second. The data just couldn't travel fast enough. But literally just by switching to USB 4 version 2, the performance jumped to a buttery-smooth 108 frames per second. It basically proves that USB 4 version 2 is bringing full, uncompromised desktop power right into your backpack. Oh, and it's not just about data. Power capabilities have taken a massive leap too. We've had the standard power range delivering up to 100 watts, which is totally fine for most laptops. But USB 4 also ushers in extended power range. This allows a single Type-C cable to safely carry up to a jaw-dropping 240 watts of electricity. 240 watts! That means massive gaming laptops and high-end workstations can finally ditch those proprietary heavy charging bricks and just use a standard USB cable. Okay, so we've got 120 gigabit speeds, desktop GPUs running flawlessly on handhelds, and 240 watts of power. Sounds like perfection, right? Well, just when you think the whole cable mess is finally solved, here comes the twist. A manufacturer slapping USB 4 on the side of a box does not mean you actually get all of those superpowers. And this is exactly where the grand unification promise completely falls apart and the real confusion kicks into overdrive. Here is where things go totally off the rails. To allow cheaper, more affordable devices to actually hit the market, the USB folks made critical features totally optional for manufacturers. You want that PCIe tunneling to run an external GPU? Optional. Need guaranteed backward compatibility with your older Thunderbolt 3 dock? For a lot of devices, yeah, that's optional too. Even the speed is a guessing game. A USB 4 port could max out at 20, 40, or 80 gigabits per second and still legally just be called USB 4. So what does this actually mean for you? Well, you could walk into a store, look at two laptops sitting side by side, and both will proudly show identical-looking USB 4 ports. But Laptop A fully implemented the standard, so you get top-tier gaming, blazing data speeds, and dual 4K monitors. Meanwhile, Laptop B's manufacturer saved a few bucks on internal controllers, so it's completely stripped down and struggles to drive even one 4K monitor. Same port, same label,
a completely different experience.
And remember that physical illusion we talked about earlier? Because the cables matching these wildly different power and speed tiers all look exactly the same on the outside, the mess is honestly worse than ever. A cable that can push 240 watts and 80 gigabits needs specific tiny electronic marker chips hidden inside those connector pins. But visually, it looks identical to a cheap gas station cable that only pushes 15 watts and slow USB 2.0 data. You're basically forced to endlessly squint at spec sheets or just plug things in, cross your fingers, and pray it works.
Which really leaves us with a huge question. In this crazy race to pack 80 gigabits of data and 240 watts of power into a single universal standard, are these amazing speeds truly worth the headache of navigating this new USB jungle? USB 4 is undeniably a technological triumph, but by making so many of its best features optional, it's turned buying a simple cable or a laptop into a full-blown research project. It's a spectacular standard for sure, but the mess? I'm afraid the mess is definitely here to stay.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Because I know right now you might pick up a C cable and it's good for transferring data, but not charging or the other way around.
Not there.
And you, why is it so,
They don't
takes
have
so
all
long?
pins, right?
Yeah. And it looks like it's a C that fits.
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
Right,
It's
now we got more stuff to worry.
Yeah, and the guys were on Tech for Seniors, we're talking, and there's a little device you can buy on Amazon, of course, but
Yeah,
anywhere,
that will
that
block
you
the
test
finger.
it, kind of test it.
Oh, the test,
You plug it in and it tells you what its capabilities are. That
okay.
might be worth,
Yeah, I think that's around $100 or so.
Yeah, it wasn't, I don't know that it was that much, but it was.
I don't know, I looked at that and
Yeah.
and I said, too.
It would be useful to sort through your course.
Yes,
Maybe get a system with colored tags on them.
yeah.
Because that's frustrating. And they're not going to try to fix it easily, I guess. Because they want to make something affordable and it's
Right.
not capable then, yada, yada.
So that's one of the ones you sold at.
Oh, turning it off and on again, that's a quick,
Alright.
that's. But it makes sense. Oh, it does cure a lot of things.
Picture this.
That's not.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Like unplugging it. Yeah.
Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for AskLeo.com. Here's a question I honestly got some time ago. It seems like every time I call tech support line for my software, operating system, or even my broadband connection, the first thing out of the technician's mouth is reboot. Or worse yet, power down for a while. What does that have to do with anything? And why does it work? It does kind of seem like magic, doesn't it? A computer's acting up, you reboot it, and poof, things are better again, at least for a while. It gets even weirder when you achieve the same effect just by powering it down and pulling the cord for a while. It's so well known that it's become a meme from a popular television show. Let's consider the magical mess that is software. Jerry Fouts was a friend and an expert in the design of power supplies. Many years ago, he provided an interesting write-up on unplugging the power as perhaps the single most effective electronics troubleshooting technique. The topic came up in a discussion when I recommended power cycling a router, unplugging it, waiting 30 seconds, and then plugging it back in as a way to resolve a connectivity problem. Electronic components can get into odd states. And as Jerry points out, power cycling forces the equipment to completely reset and restart from a known good state. Same's true for software. Software is incredibly complex these days, and it uses and touches lots and lots of different things on your computer. The longer it runs, the more it impacts. Memory is used, released, and fragmented. Programs open, read, and write local and temporary files to disk, and then there's the hardware, video cards, networking adapters, mice, keyboards, and other peripherals, all being accessed continuously. As a result, any of those, and perhaps all of them, can end up in states that cause problems. It shouldn't be that way, of course. And the inherent quality of the software and/or hardware plays a huge role. But the bottom line is, it happens. Software can get confused over time. And those technicians who ask you to reboot your device, they do so because it works much more often than you might imagine. Power cycling restores all the hardware to a known state. A reboot restores all the software to a known state. Well, mostly known state. Temporary files, installed files, registry changes, and more are still going to remain, of course. That's why in extreme cases, a reformat and reinstall is a recommended solution. It returns even those things to a known state. The router problem that started this discussion? Well, like many devices these days, routers are really small single-purpose computers. They often run a variation of an operating system you've heard of, Linux. Their internal memory tracks a variety of information relating to the network connections they manage. The longer they run, the more likely it is that something will create a problem. It could be hardware-related, as explained in Jerry's article, or something in the software, like I've outlined above. In any case, I typically reboot my own router every few months. It's become a mantra in my household. When in doubt, reboot. It's truly surprising how many problems just go away when you do. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/24.
Did that last night with my Spectrum.
Oh, okay.
Well, it wouldn't, it just said, internet not connected, but it was connected. So I was like, I'm just gonna reboot it.
Good for you.
Yeah. And the two little orange lights come on when it does that. So now I know I could see it when I'm sitting down. So I
Okay.
know I just have to.
And I've had my phone, just not, all of a sudden not working right,
Like it locks up.
And then and I've read that there's reboot or there's turn off and turn back on, and they're kind of different. And you might want to do one or the
In a
other.
Windows computer, that's true because of the power options, or what they call fast startup. Windows has an option that's turned on by default, unfortunately, called fast startup, because they think people will.
Or impatient.
Yes, yes. So what that does is when you shut down, it doesn't really shut down. And when you restart, it will actually do a power down and restart. So I've always turned my power options to do the actual power down when I have my laptops. So if you do a search on, or actually it's fast start if you to turn off. Let's see.
Cause I know my phone gives me the option to restart.
Well, yeah,
Or shut off.
right, there's
Yeah.
different choices.
So I just will do restart, and if it still acts up.
Yeah,
shut it off. Wait a little bit, turn it back on,
Yes,
and it starts.
and it really, one or the other does usually,
One of them will work.
well,
Yeah.
make it better. Make it work.
Yeah, this is just a link.
You just
Anyway.
don't, sometimes you forget to turn your phone off, but it needs to go off every now and then.
And this article walk through the steps on getting into setup, and you can set it to automatically do it, like every
Okay.
Sunday night at 3 a.m.
Okay.
Right.
Restart.
I'll have to.
Yeah, so that had merit, I think. And they were talking particularly about a phone, but I guess that could work with any of this.
This gives the option or the procedure to change it in
Disable fast start.
And that's in Windows on a computer.
yeah, Windows, yeah, because a Mac or Linux doesn't have that, so.
Oh, really?
But on your phone, I'm not sure about the phones,
Android, isn't that a form of Linux?
it's Linux, right, so usually, well, I turn mine off every night anyway.
What do you do at 2 a.m. when you wake up and can't sleep?
No.
Oh, you turn the phone off.
That's my day, so it's on, yeah, but,
Oh.
yeah, but at night, which is, 3 p.m.
Yeah, I know.
I will turn it off, so that it's always being turned off anyway, so it starts up
Yeah.
fresh.
If that's your pattern,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you're taking care of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, every once in a while I thought, why is this phone not doing, a normal thing I wanted to do? And then sure enough, when I do like you say, power off or restart or shut down, one of them,
Right.
it's all better.
All right, so.
And should be reminded of that as part of our
Yeah.
health routine.
We can look at this guy, this short one.
Yeah, sure. Give a nod to the scam situation.
Right.
New PayPal scam. What's so terrifying about this PayPal scam is that it's really from PayPal and they're sending you real money to your account. Here's how it works.
First of all, the victim is going to receive a email from PayPal saying you have an invoice for some amount. And the email is actually from service@paypal.com. In this example, it says there's an invoice for $600 due, and it says billing department of PayPal updated your invoice. It also says seller note to customer. If you want to dispute it, here's the number to call for customer service. And there's also a button to view and pay invoice, and that actually does go to PayPal.com and brings up an actual PayPal invoice. But here's the thing. All of this is just made up, and actually their goal is not even to necessarily get you to pay that amount. It's actually to get you to call that fake customer service number. Let me explain how they actually made this invoice. The thing to understand is anybody, even you, can log into your PayPal account and create a PayPal invoice. In fact, if you go to the top of PayPal and click send and request, on the right side you see an option to send an invoice, and then you can just fill out a bunch of info saying whatever you want. And this is what the scammers did.
They're not really in it for you to pay them the invoice. So if you pay them the invoice, a lot of people are doing that. Millions of dollars are getting lost. They're making money that way. But what they really want is you to call customer service, which is in that 888 number. You need to call PayPal whenever you get an invoice now. It sucks that's the world we live in, but don't call the number on the email. Go to paypal.com and look for the customer service number.
Isn't it terrible?
Wow.
Yeah,
PayPal do something about that?
you would think, but
Yeah, that should be,
yeah, I thought that was
viewed by everybody.
good information for people.
Because it may not even be PayPal, just don't click
Yeah.
don't click the numbers in an email.
Don't call that number.
Oh, the phone number isn't.
Yeah,
isn't
look it up on your
No, the
own.
phone number isn't PayPal, but the scary part is that the invoice, everything, like.
Look,
if you
yeah,
see-
'cause
We
then
always
we can
count,
make-
no, look at the URL, make sure it's not,
Yes.
it's PayPal and it's gonna be secure. All those things fit the typical non-scam.
But if you know you haven't used your PayPal card,
Well, true, but.
I want us
if
to
you have-
resolve it, like,
Right.
why is this must be
I mean,
wrong?
they send out millions of these things and somebody's gonna have used their PayPal and they're gonna, oh yeah, I must have forgotten, blah, 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 and. Just like,
Excuse
if you have the bank, whatever bank they're scamming this week, and you might think, okay, well, they might be trying to contact me. If you don't use that bank, it's easy to say, okay, well, that's not me, it's a scam.
Did
but-
our guest at home have a question?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, now,
I can hear you.
And I just want to know that, let you know, this just happened to me.
which, the PayPal or?
The PayPal came in I had been scammed online. I thought I was talking to Columbia Gas,
No.
and it wasn't. Was
Um,
not Columbia Gas. So then the gentleman, I said, I'm not getting your emails that you're sending me or text messages you're sending me. I'm not receiving them. I might, for my bill. Anyway, he said, well, let me give you, I'll try it one time again. This will come through your messages. And I got something on my messages, and it says, your Moon Pie, MOONPAY. And then there was a Moon Pay. Yeah. And then below it there was a number 184 blah blah blah. And then the next day I get in my checking account there is a minus $87 from PayPal. Now I don't have an account with PayPal at all. So anyway, I called the bank, they did their thing. They took all the information down. They were going to pass it on. I called Social Security. I just called everybody. But they were telling me this is one of the latest things. And I said, how did it get into my checking account when I don't have PayPal? So I think that's a prime example of what you're talking about, isn't it?
Sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah.
You called that number and talked to somebody, is that what happened?
Well, I thought I was talking to Columbia Gas.
Oh, okay.
The guy said, let me put you on hold, and somebody else came back.
Yeah.
So anyway, the PayPal thing is true.
Yeah.
I don't have PayPal. How it got into my checking account, Lord knows, I don't.
Wow.
So, but the bank corrected it right away, and they're,
Yeah,
So-
they know it's going on and they're trying to keep ahead of it.
yeah. But I just wanted to let you know how that I got it, and I
How
didn't even have it.
easily it is to get, yeah.
Yeah, you were very lucky that the bank was sympathetic and worked in your favor.
Chase always has. I've never had a problem with Chase not doing what they said they were going to do.
Yeah.
Good, good. And you were vigilant, if you'd waited a while, maybe.
Oh yeah, who knows? And I've routinely checked my account my computer every other day at least, if not every day, for anything.
Good for you.
So I can just recommend, call your bank.
Right.
They're your best friend.
But use your own number. Use a number that you get
I
from.
know a good number, is what you're saying.
Yeah, something you know is really them.
Right.
Wait, call the bank, you mean? Or
Well,
what number are you?
Don't
Yeah.
call any numbers that you get in emails or texts.
Oh, absolutely not. Never.
Yeah.
Never.
That's what I was trying to say.
Never. But and I did they were going to pass it on to the fraud department, of course, and et cetera, et cetera. But it's just happened so easily out of thin air. You didn't expect it, So I just need to jump in there for a moment.
That's good. That's good to share it really is true. It happens.
Thanks.
Unfortunately, yes. I'm enjoying your show though.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was watching a podcast and I watched I don't remember what podcast it was, but he was interviewing a woman who goes out and investigates. And she has a team, like a photographer and producer and everything, and all these different subjects. But she was talking about these big rooms full of people who are making these calls. And he's the specialist on doing the background work and roping them in. And then she was talking on romance scams and how they work. And it was eye-opening, all the behind the scenes stuff that was going on. And they're often in other countries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all over the world. And they're trying
This guy's sorry. This
How
guy's
did you-
name. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I'm done.
This guy's name was Muhammad.
Oh.
Muhammad. On my PayPal came across my bank statement. It said Muhammad D or something was the person that was taking the money out, Muhammad D. Now, something interesting happened. I have to check into that today. Is there a Muhammad on my, I think it's, what is it on? I think it's on my email now.
Oh.
So I'm going to have to change my email because it's very unlikely that it's two different people, with Muhammad.
With that name, yeah.
Yeah. So
In our world, yeah.
The other thing is that I just thought maybe I should mention that because to me it's too unlikely that they're not the same people.
Yeah.
It's likely it's the same person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Yes, it is. Thank God I know a little bit.
Yeah, just enough to try to keep ahead of them.
That's true. Yeah.
These I think I'm done watching them, but it's very repetitive. But these romance scam things, and they use the same scenario over and over. I said, these people that believe it and get caught up in it, don't they ever watch?
I don't understand that either.
I mean, they just get caught up And
The only thing I can think of is if they're so lonely, they'll believe
yes,
anything.
I think that's it, and they
Yeah.
make them feel special.
Yeah, right,
and
right.
But they use the same language and everything. I
Right.
said, don't you pay attention to their
Most of the time, they're men posing as women.
Yes.
Trans voice.
Yes, and nowadays they can
Yeah.
do all that with
Right.
the newest technology.
Well, you're assuming that they actually hear. I mean, a lot of times it's just text only.
Yeah, but
Text
the
or
ones
email
who
only.
talk to them,
Yeah.
like they start texting, because it happened to my cousin. They start
yeah.
texting, they meet up, they text, and then they start
Chatting.
chatting.
Yeah.
You know,
But they seldom do the live.
and they always
Right.
tell
The live with
I
the
need
picture.
a ticket and I'll meet you here.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. This happened, and the guys get vulnerable
Always
and they
some
send the
excuse,
money,
right.
and here they're men
Yeah.
disguised.
They're desperate.
Yeah.
They're just desperate for anybody.
Attention and affection, and he pays attention. And
And they
even
never
if they find out
Damn.
they
Yeah, I've heard
sometimes
that.
they'll stay with them because
Yeah.
there's craving that
Dr. Phil had a program on there a couple times
he's
of
done
that
that for a
same
long
situation.
time.
And family members came in to
Yeah,
tell their mother that this is not real,
Yeah.
and the person would not believe it.
yeah.
Wow.
So,
I watched one on catfishers or something,
Yeah,
and it's the same thing over and over. And the guy always works on an oil rig,
Yeah,
Right.
we're in the military.
or in the military, and this podcast described why they choose that. But it was the same thing over and over. Oh my God, scary.
yeah.
Anyway, so we take all the fun out of using a computer,
Right.
Always on your toes.
Yes. All right, let's see here. What else?
Saving Google photo memories.
Yeah.
Maybe that. I think this is from Chris Gould, isn't it? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Chris Gould with Geeks on Tour, and I want to show you in Google Photos how to save one of those cute memories that it makes for you. You open up Google Photos, and I'm talking about these things up at the top. These are AI created memories, and they go away. So I want to save one, and I want it to be a video with music. Now there's one that I've already opened. So it goes all the way over to the right. I mean, they stick around for a while. It's kind of grayed out. This one that says Trip to Tavernier and Isla Morada. So I will open that. Listen to the sound. If you're not hearing any sound, it might be because that is turned off. I want the sound. And the first step is then to tap the share button. Now you have a couple of options. You can keep just the photos or the video. I want it saved as a video. I also want to make sure that the sound is being saved with it. If there's anything I want to get rid of, you tap Edit. And let's say I didn't particularly care for just those leaves in the front. And this is long, so I'm going to take that out. And this one too. So just uncheck the pieces of it that you don't want to capture. And then done.
Nice pictures.
Last step is to tap share once again. And I don't want to send it to Facebook or share it with anybody. I want to keep it, so I have to tap more and upload to Google Photos. Make sure you have the right account and tap upload. And when it's done, it says upload complete. I can now go back just to my Google Photos. It is now a video file in my library that I will have forever and I can share with anybody.
I think they sent to me where they have like it'll say my one granddaughter's name, Dakota, and then all of a sudden it's showing me a little slideshow, of pictures of her, you
Yeah, it
know,
does that.
different ages. I go, oh, it's nice. And then I want, you know, I'm clicking to make sure I save it because I know it doesn't necessarily stay. And then just share with somebody later. Yeah. Google Photos sure is a robust product
That's for sure. Probably does continue.
that people should be exploring if they're not. And we have other earlier
Tips from her.
links because Chris is our
Google rep.
Google rep. She takes enough of the trainings to qualify as a certified Google person. When she's now out on her cruising with her husband on a cruise ship. They live on a cruise ship.
Really?
Yep. And
That would be interesting.
Yeah, she has links from her website there.
And we have
Do geeks, but that.
So she doesn't own a home, they just live on.
Right, they gave up their.
They just travel.
Their,
we did a program.
right here, Life on a Cruise Ship on August 12th of last year. And then there's links to what she puts up because she updates it and tells what it's like. But I almost find that would be one thing they've struggled with is time zones. Because you wake up in one time zone and in another time zone and you don't know when to tell people.
Right.
Who, what, where.
Yeah, and I would still be wary of healthcare because Medicare doesn't cover you outside the US, so.
You know, there's enough people doing that there's
you can buy insurance when you
there's
travel
insurance.
right.
Yeah,
it's sometimes cheaper than our insurance over here. You know, better.
Just so you're covered for these Hasu viruses, whatever this new one is called.
Hantavirus.
Oh my goodness, that's discouraging. But yeah, people will do this all year round. I mean, they even customize their cabin area for them.
Really?
As part of the commitment they made to stay there.
Right, well, you buy.
Oh, you actually buy.
You buy, the cabin, although you can't resell it, so.
Yeah, so what
it's not really buying, but you have to, it's like a couple $100,000 to buy these cabins and I think there's even a monthly charge after that.
Like an HOA.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
You can mow your yard for you or something.
I thought she just went on different cruise ships.
Oh, yeah.
No, you can get
She just moved in on one specific.
So there's others on board who are also doing this, so you get to know them.
I read an article about
Yeah. And but just one thing you gotta think of is all the food is available to you and provided, that's a plus.
And you get to travel.
Right.
And because they get off at the different places.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about cutting the grass, so.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about maintenance on your home.
Right.
You know, repairs.
Right.
There might be.
Anyways,
route to go.
So there's a link to their, their status there.
There's
and their pictures, and then other people have done this as
another
well.
person who did this. This is the CBS Saturday morning. So
Okay.
yeah, we have different 2 different videos on that.
And then she continues to run her own podcast, what do you call it, on YouTube. So she gets some residuals from, after you have so many subscribers and so on.
Well, they have that members area too.
Yeah.
You subscribe to for the.
So she continues to bring a little money in off of whatever they have. But they did live in an RV at one time for a couple years and just traveled. They would go like senior campgrounds, and then people would book her to come in and do training programs because computers were kind of new, and that was her expertise. And then so they just have RV will travel for a couple years.
That would be interesting.
Until I think about COVID time, they started staying put for a while. Which happened to a lot of situations during that period. Anybody have a question or anything they Want to share, observe, or?
What is the Gemini is here?
All right, let's look at that one.
Oh, that's
Gemini is
the
Google's,
Google search.
it's
okay.
AI.
Oh,
So that's.
Yes,
that's
their
my
new
Chrome.
AI version.
Here's my Chrome. You can ask Gemini, which is Google's Chrome or Chrome's or Google's artificial intelligence.
And you get more than just the early. Yeah.
But here we can look at this, since it has.
So many cars have the ability to
do the Android Auto.
do it by voice while you're driving.
All right, so we'll look at this, which is pretty interesting.
I guess there's a recent update that made more possible or something.
Sure, okay. It's not the way.
You guys feel comfortable using Gemini?
Yeah, I'll use it.
I use whatever, but Gemini or.
Yeah, I still use ChatGPT in spite of it not knowing what end is up.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. You were both talking at the same time.
We watched a little video where the ChatGPT didn't know what end of the glass was up. Were you watching that one?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm just wondering, do you prefer Gemini to the others?
I haven't really used it enough to compare. Well, like Microsoft.
Like I have one project, I keep asking questions related to the project. So I stay in ChatGPT because it remembers what we're talking about. And I can jump back in and ask a question. So there's a reason to kind of stay with.
I see.
Hey, Google?
Thank you.
I know I have Sarah's address. Maybe in my email. Can you check?
I found an email with the subject, new apartment. It is at 44 Beacon Street.
Awesome. Let's head there. Also, let's find a pizza place on the way. Somewhere that's known for their sauce.
I found a place known for its sauce along your route. Adriano's Pizza has a 4.6-star rating. Would you like to add it as a stop?
Hey Google, let's talk. I want to get something nice for my friend Sarah to celebrate her new apartment.
Can you tell me more about her apartment?
She's excited for her new kitchen. Can we make it less than $30?
Great. What about some cute measuring cups or a fun apron?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Lots of messages are coming in. Can you summarize them?
Derek said he's picking something up. Sarah's wondering when everyone is arriving, and Jess said she would pick up some pizza. Do you want to reply?
Yes. Can you let them know my ETA?
Message to your college group. My ETA is 18 minutes.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's a couple steps to set it up so it's the current voice responding Gemini, and then I started to read up to make sure I had it, but I wasn't in the car at the time, so wasn't testing, but I thought I'd like to have that as a backup option anyway.
So Android Auto links your phone to the car, right?
Okay.
So.
And I swear it didn't used to. I had to plug the phone into the car.
Oh, that's right.
And I knew some newer cars you didn't even have to. It would automatically wireless connect. And I don't know if there was a new version or whatever, but now I don't have to plug it in. It just finds my phone and
Bluetooth, yeah.
Yeah. And works, and sometimes I have to press on a button on the screen that says audio Android Bluetooth or something.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah, something like that. And I thought, that looks useful. I'll push that.
Maybe that's what fixed the wire problem.
Anyway, it's amazing what these cars are doing nowadays.
Good.
Any other questions people have curious about, or a problem, or anything that we can explore in our last video? No. Everybody happy? Since we block all the scammers, then we're okay. You know, I have a Discover card I use a lot because I get points and then try to pay it off right away. And was going through my bill and what's this reoccurring bill, you know? And every once in a while you've got to look something you assumed had stopped or something one of the grandkids
Oh, you have that problem.
had permission. And then I thought I canceled that, Grandma.
Oh, Jesus.
And I wonder when I was getting billed from Apple, and I'm not an Apple person, and my daughter said, I check all the grandkids' Apple phones. I don't see it's coming from them. And then when I called Apple, and I had to be on the phone with the grandchild in the room, the mother in the room, and me, and Apple support before they talk, because it's in his account. Oh, he's only 16. What's he gonna do? Anyway, we found it was the kid. And I didn't know you had to click over there and go over there. Jeez. But the lady was very patient and helpful. The customer service lady. So keep an eye on your. You really.
Definitely.
It was. Yeah.
Alrighty. Close the meeting down and.
So next month what is next month? June.
June.
We talked about maybe trying to do a lunch this summer in a restaurant. Has been what we've done a couple times in the last year or two.
Where were you supposed to look? Oh, was it Old Town Pizza? You were gonna look and see.
Oh, to see how many.
An area, yeah.
We liked Old Town Pizza, but if you get more than like 8, maybe you'd have to be at different table areas because they don't have big table space.
Well, I've seen them put like 3 tables together for a big crowd when I was there.
And we ate at Sugar Creek.
That was just as.
Which was
bad. I mean, you do the table thing.
But you know, in the past, they've had a space in the far back.
Every time we've gone, the space has been used.
Oh, it's always in use. Is why we don't get it.
Right.
Do you have to call and reserve that?
Yeah, we have, but we always end up in a feeling like a crowded space.
Right.
And if you've got like 10 people and you're in a long table, you can't. Who's down there?
Yeah. Right.
What's your discussion? So, but we used to do actual picnics.
Yeah.
We have pictures from them to prove it. But we're not youthful cookers anymore.
Well, we don't get a whole lot of people who warrant
the
trouble anymore either.
It was nice in his day.
How many people are you talking about for the luncheon?
How many came last time?
10, 12. Yeah.
Olive Garden
Aren't you
has
there?
a room. Yeah, I was there last time. Yeah. Olive Garden has a big room that they could put the tables together and you
know,
gotta let them know ahead of time though.
Blue Sky in Amherst doesn't have a good space. Illyria Blue Sky has a room, but it's so off. You know, it's kind of hard to get into, you know, you're right off of Cleveland Street there and there's traffic in the intersection and it's not close to, because we're all coming from different parts of the county.
Yeah.
I never thought that was a real good option.
Well, I would like the Old Town if we could.
Okay, I can go in there. I'm gonna be at the Foundry this week. The Foundry has a side room. It's in Elyria, downtown Elyria. And I said, well, I've heard people complain they don't like to drive in Elyria because there's some one-way streets.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if that would deter people.
And it sounds like that's one of those places like Ziggy's or whatever we went, we didn't care for. Or I didn't care for it.
I did. That was
the bar type place.
That was not Ghostbusters. Ghost Tree Brewery.
Well, maybe that's what it is now.
Yeah, they had to change its name.
Okay.
What about Berardi's in Huron?
Where?
Berardi's in Huron?
Oh, I know where that is. Yeah, Huron.
Dairy Queen is. It's just before the bridge.
Yeah, I know where that is.
They have good food, but they don't have big areas that
No,
And
they
there's
have
some,
that.
is there an Italian place kind of across the street from there, but maybe down?
Down the road.
Yeah, down the
Yeah.
road a little.
Oh, Marconi's or something?
Yeah, something that starts with an M.
Marconi's is closed in Vermillion, they closed.
Yeah, the one in,
It
wasn't what was it called?
That was Martino's.
Martino's. Martino's in Vermillion closed.
Yeah, they
Tony's
closed.
was the Italian restaurant out near the Bull. Where,
Oh, okay.
A Red Bull or Raging Bull, whatever that place is.
See, I used to like to go to,
Yeah,
Golden Corral.
Yeah.
The Illyria one closed.
they have one in Sandusky.
Yeah, there's, but that's kind of far.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still one there.
There's that, I don't know, buffet and by Sam's, but it's Asian buffet.
Yeah, that's kind of specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're gonna go all the
Did
way.
you mention Olive Garden?
Yeah. Somebody suggested that might
Olive
be.
Garden or Old Town sound.
I know Mickey
Yeah.
likes Old Town.
Yeah.
Old Town's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
it is my favorite too, probably, but I'll have to go in and see. I live right a mile from there.
I've seen them.
I can go in and,
Area in the middle, they put a bunch of tables, but you have. to
actually,
let
the
them out.
owner of Old Town bought a house on my street, I found out.
Oh,
But I think he bought it for his son,
Oh,
who works there also. I'm getting all the gossip.
okay.
Anyway, I'll go in and check out. Actually, I ran into a lady I go to lunch with every once in a while, and that's where we always go. And she said, "Oh, wait, I'll call you for lunch." So, actually, it's Green Dick's. Why do I always say it wrong? Ron
Oh, Ron Dick.
and his wife. We go to lunch once.
Last time I was taking Irma over to see Graham in the hospital, I saw them wheeling Ron through the hall.
He was staying in somewhere.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but I'm not, and to be honest, I was catching up with her in the driveway and I didn't
Okay.
get as far as to say, "Is your husband home?"
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, we'll check out those possibilities so we can call us all together. And if anybody else thinks it's some brainstorm, email us or something and we'll add it to our explore list.
Alrighty. So we'll end the meeting now?
Yeah, so next month's meeting will probably be this format as well, what we find that's new and interesting. And if you think of something you'd like to see us, look into, also let us know. And we'll explore in that direction.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you for a good meeting.
thank you for coming.
Bye.
We're glad to have
Bye
you.
now. Bye now.
Bye.